to access your account information at this time. If you would like to use another one of our automated services, press the pound key.
All right, again, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our WordPress website development cohort here. Today is really to teach entrepreneur and small business owners on how to navigate the basics of WordPress development, right? So you don't need any type of background coding to learn how to manage WordPress. WordPress is a platform that we use. It's a popular WordPress platform that a lot of small business owners use. I'll quickly introduce myself. I'll have Jing introduce himself, and we'll get started. Again, myself, John B. Yang, founder and CEO of Digital Synergy. And Jing, I'll let you introduce yourself.
All right, yeah, thanks, John. Hey, everyone, I'm Jung, representing Asian Media Access here. Been working as a WordPress web developer for almost 3.5 years. Happy to be here, being one of the instructors today.
Thanks, Jing. And this cohort is sponsored by Elevate Hennepin, AABRN, Digital Synergy, and Asian Media Access. This cohort is to support entrepreneur and small business owner in Hennepin County. You don't have to be in Hennepin County to learn and take advantage of the cohort, but to take advantage of the incentive, you do have to be a business owner in Hennepin County. More information on that, we do have links to the Hennepin County website. We'll make the presentation available to you so you can access the links. The two incentives that we are currently offering with this cohort is one is the free website, 1 year domain name, and 1 year hosting as part of completing the cohort here. So the free website is going to be WordPress. The second one is a reimbursement program grant, which covers up to 75% and up to $1,500 of towards any type of business technology related purchase. It's a one-time use. So if you already used this grant in a previous cohort, then it won't work. So but if you're new, then you can qualify for it. Any questions and application, contact Jing. I do have this email here as well. A little bit of housekeeping. At 7 o'clock, halfway in between, if anyone needs a break, let us know. We can take a 5-minute break. Any questions, feel free to raise your hand or just type into the chat box, and we will answer as we go. And then again, this is the second workshop. Last week, we talked about market research and building your digital strategy. So all these workshops are kind of tied together to provide a digital solution for your business. So last week we talked about building a business plan, business strategy, and now we're working on, before you can get that strategy going, you need a website, right? So today we'll be talking about teaching the basics of WordPress web development. And then I'll stop sharing. I'll let Jing take over on the introduction here.
Sounds good. Just share it real quick. All right, should be able to see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Here we started. Yeah, so people often ask, what is WordPress? And a clear answer to that is WordPress is used for creating website, depending on your needs. It's a popular user-friendly content management system that allows users or small business owners to create and manage websites, blogs, or online stores. So as you can see from the graph, currently WordPress powers over 40%, which at around 43.1% on the internet. So it's a mass use for small business owners, or it could be the government sectors or any large corporate business such as the New York Times, BBC America, or Vogue, etc. So other than WordPress, there's also like Shopify, Wix, Squarespace. I think this is for the most popular ones to be used for people. So yeah, therefore, a lot of small business owners can actually benefit by using WordPress, not just for your online presence, but also for your sales and marketing purpose. Yeah, so before we actually get into the meat part of the WordPress, we need to know there's actually two different kind of WordPress that are all up on the air, which are the WordPress.com and WordPress.org. We'll use this infographic that I found at Sully the WordPress as a guide and elaborate the difference between them. So as you can see here, WordPress.com is a hosted service where you can set up a website or blog that run on WordPress. So basically, it's just saying the website that you're hosting on WordPress.com is belong to WordPress.com. So you don't have to set up a separate web hosting to host your website on WordPress.com. On the other hand, for WordPress.org is where you can download the WordPress software to use on your own web hosting account. So basically, you can just download the app and then install it into your web hosting account. Yeah, let's get down here. WordPress.com also requires you to sign up for an account to create your website or blog. It's also set up by them, so you don't have to worry about installing plugins or updating WordPress or anything like that. They can be as fast as below 5 minutes if you're trying to install WordPress under WordPress.com. So on WordPress.org, it requires a separate web hosting account to run a WordPress website. So you have to buy or subscribe to web hosting companies such as Bluehost, DreamHost. I think there's also there's a crocodile icon to it. I think it's called something alligator, something gator. I don't remember, but it's just one. HostGator, yeah, yes, thank you, John. Yeah, it's one of those web hosting company you have to sign up. So after you sign up, you can install the WordPress.org into their database, and then most of the host also offers this thing called one-click installation. So if you don't want to install WordPress yourself, you could just click on the one-click installation. They will include all the necessary package for you to get your WordPress ready. So, the big difference here is just WordPress.com. You don't have to worry about installation or anything. They will just help you to settle all the security, installation, so you don't have to build up by your own. For the other hand, WordPress.org, you do have to do it manually by yourself or your WordPress developer. And then going to the bottom, for WordPress.com, you also, let me zoom in a little bit so everyone can see it. So for one other thing that's different is that you actually have to pay a little bit to unlock all the features in WordPress.com. There's definitely a free version as well, but it's very limited for use by using the WordPress.com. As I know, if you're doing online stores for your WordPress.com site, you actually need to pay 10% of the transaction. So I think if you pay for $45 per month, you can get to like 0% for surcharge on transaction. So it's a give and take. If you want to use the free version as a starting point, it will be a great place to go to. On the other hand, for WordPress.org, it's totally free. It's because there's a team dedicated for the WordPress.org to do coding and ease our installation for the WordPress.org. So for that, since you don't have any service from WordPress, so everything will be up to you. You can you can install plugins like WooCommerce. I'm pretty sure John will touch base on that later. And you can just use that for online stores to do transaction. And I think it should be free. But there's definitely a paid version where you can do more sale when you do more sales and stuff. But he will expand more on that. And here for WordPress.com, there's no plugins upload allowed. There's no backend code, database, or file access. And then you can only choose from available free or premium themes. So you cannot upload your own themes to WordPress.com. This is why you have to, pay for unlock plugins and uploads or having a bigger storage size. Because I think for a free version, you only get 1 gigabyte for storing your media files or videos. So if you want to upload more, you need to pay certain fees. For WordPress.org, where you basically have no limits on whatever you want to do on WordPress.org. You can upload unlimited plugins. You can access all the customize all backend code, database, and files. And then you could also upload your own free premium or custom themes to customize your website. So it definitely gives you more freedom. And that's definitely a pros for using WordPress.org. And lastly, I think it's more important that if you use the free version of WordPress.com, your website's URL, which is the website link, will be something like, let's take Asian Media Assets here, like ama.wordpress.com. So you will have that WordPress.com at the end of your URL link. I'm pretty sure if you pay, as I said, if you pay, you can get rid of that WordPress.com at the end, but we'll go through the pricing later. On the other side, we have the WordPress.org, where when you purchase a subscription under the web hosting service, they usually included the URL or domain purchase, so you don't have to pay extra for having WordPress.org site. So you can just use that URL for your website. So it can be like asianmediaassets.com or any business name.com. So yeah, this is a difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So just add on to the pricing. I think I have it here somewhere. We're not monetizing WordPress, but just kind of let you know, the price of if you're thinking to use WordPress.com. So as you can see here, if you are a free version, I think you have 1 gigabyte, and there's $4, and then there's 6 gigabyte. And you can also see here there's 8% transaction fee for payments. So if you want it to be 0, I think you need to get the creator plan, which is, you still have 2%. Yeah, you probably need to get the entrepreneur subscription, which is $45 per month for 0 transaction fee for payments, and as well 50 gigabyte for default. So yeah, I think hope that will give you a basic understanding on WordPress. And John, feel free to take over.
Yeah, and I'll share my screen. Thanks, Jay. And just wanted to clarify, like WordPress, that's the same company, but they own WordPress.org and WordPress.com, right? But then the most popular way that people like to set up their WordPress is through WordPress.org, which is self-hosted, right? WordPress.com is hosted by WordPress, so you have to go through their hosting. They have some limitations, but if you want to host the platform WordPress yourself, you can get any type of hosting that supports WordPress, and you can host it yourself. I myself, I use WordPress.org, so I set up my own hosting and everything for WordPress. Just going back to the presentation here real quick. So here's the curriculum real quick. There are 10 steps that we will touch on today. The introduction of WordPress, which Jane went over. So with the introduction, why are we using WordPress for business, right? What are the benefits? It's the flexibility, the extensive plugins that's built in, the different themes that are built in, and then large community support. So WordPress is an open source where many developers build plugins. Plugins are like, think of it as features and functions, right? Where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You could just install a plugin that does a function for you. And this function can be anything from contact form to calendar to AI. SEO plugins, those are all kind of built in and developed by someone already, right? And if you want to use that feature, all you do is you install that plugin. Again, it's one of the most popular platform that businesses like to use because of that. Number 2 is setting up. Again, I'll go through domain hosting, how that's all set up. If one day you do want to set that up yourself, you can do it yourself. Number 3 is understanding WordPress dashboard. Jane will go through that in a bit here. So dashboard is navigating. If you log into the back end, how does it look like? How do you navigate through the back end? Number 4 is themes and customization. We'll talk a little bit about the different themes that you can select. If you want to customize your own theme, or if you want to buy a pre-built theme already to save money, you can, there's websites that you can purchase these themes from. Again, the themes are 100% customizable. So you can choose the themes to your liking. You can modify and change as you like. And then number 5 would be plugins, right? As I spoke about plugins earlier, there's many different plugins to do to provide many different features. We'll talk about that in a bit here too. Number 6 is creating content. How do you create content, right? How do you add images? How do you create create a page? How do you create a post? The difference between posts and pages? How do you keep a blog, adding content, vice versa? Number 7 will be how to manage a website. Like the user roles, like you can give permission to, if you have a team, you can give different rights to different team members. You can allow, if you have a blog, you can allow different comments, you can manage them, updating the themes, the plugins to make sure they're up to date. That's very important too. And then number 8 will be the basic SEO analytics, right? I'll talk about that in a bit here too, like how to optimize your website, installing proper SEO plugins, how to connect Google Analytics, how to keep track of your website traffic. If you're running ads, how do you add the script to check your conversions and all that. And then number 9 will be troubleshooting common issues, like if your website's down, what do you do? Sometimes your plugins may not be up to date. You might have conflicts, or you may install a plugin that have conflicts with other plugins. How do you troubleshoot that? When do you know that you need a developer to step in or your hosting provider to help? And then number 10 is, this is something you can do offline. You can practice and set up a website yourself, and just learn the basics of setting up the website. And then after that, it's just we have some resource and continue learning, where if you want to learn more about WordPress, there's online courses, there's books, there's video tutorials that you can access. And also, you can also hire a freelancer to kind of help with that. So it really depends if you have time and how deep you want to get into the development part, right? For me, I want to focus on business operations. So I have a developer, which they take care of all the technical stuff. So you can prioritize this yourself too, depending on how much time and how your business strategy is structured. Okay, so I will share my screen on number 2. How do you set up the domain name, right? So let's say I have a domain name on, let's make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Namecheap.com.
Yeah, you can see it.
So I have my domain name, my website, digitalsynergy.ai through Namecheap, right? So I purchased it. My hosting is through, I have a reseller account through HostGator. And this is how the control panel looks like, right? In every control panel, cPanel will look different depending on what type of hosting you go with. So for me, when I create a account, once I create the account, I have to update the DNS, right? The DNS is the name server. So in order to update the DNS, I have to set up the account first, right? So when I create the account and I add the domain name, see if I can just put in what it's asking me for password. But anyways, I won't go through that process. But once you create the domain name, it's going to ask you to add the DNS server, and the DNS server is provided in your hosting. So for me, the DNS server is, let me get the information here. Server information. Okay, so for me, the name server, this is where I want to copy and put and place into the domain name, right? So once I create the account, I need to find out what the name server to point the domain name to my hosting, right? So this is the hosting part. So I copy, paste both of these. I go back to the domain name, and on the name servers, this is where you update the name server, right? Normally it's set to default by whichever register it is, whether it's GoDaddy or Namecheap, whatever it is, it's set to the default. And then you want to just choose custom DNS. You copy paste both the DNS, you save it. It may take some time to propagate in order for the website to work and to connect to the hosting. But yeah, once I have that down, I save it, and it's going to connect my domain name to my hosting, right? And then for my hosting, so let's say if I want to install WordPress, right? As Jane mentioned earlier, most of the cPanel here, they have a feature where you can just one-click install WordPress, which is for my cPanel here, it's under software. You can just click on, let's see, under script, I'm sorry, under script. Well, software is if you have software that's connected to you. This is one way you can do it too. But the way I normally do it is through script. So there's different types of platform that you can install already that's pre-built into the control panel. So if you want to do WordPress, you just click on WordPress. And then there's also a lot of information here too. There's like a demo, there's like a screenshot overview. But if I wanted to install WordPress, I just click install and it's going to install me like a WordPress template. And the template is going to look very generic. It's not going to look like my current website now. So my current website looks like this. Let me just go to it. So this is my current website, digitalsynergy.ai. But if you were to install the WordPress alone, it's just going to look like a really simple template. Kind of like this demo here, right? Where it's just generic information. But then once you install that, just for example, once you install that, if you already have a theme or template that you like, then you can install that template on top of WordPress, right? And you can do that. There's a number of ways you can do that. I normally have my developer help customize everything for me, but you could do it through the back end of WordPress. There's a section for themes, templates. So if you go to WordPress, if you log into the back end on the template, theme builders, you can add different themes to your website. see, appearance, themes. And again, so there's different themes that you can install. And there's also like a shopping cart where you can look at different themes. You can purchase different themes right from WordPress as well. There's also third-party websites that you can buy the themes. You can download those files, you can install it. And that's going to take a little bit more time, but again, today it's just going to be more basic of, hey, if you want to install a theme, you can choose different themes. You can add a new theme. And then, again, the themes are just different layouts, right? Depending on what type of business you run. If you're doing a blog, shopping cart, or whatever it is, you can choose the different themes that you like and you can install it. Sometimes once you install the themes, you still need to do some more database, some more updates on the back end too. But to get your templates to look exactly like some of the themes that you do here, you may need a little bit more customization on that. But for the most part, so that's kind of like the basic run through of setting up WordPress through your hosting provider. Any questions so far?
Yeah, John, we have some question from Katie. Do you want to unmute yourself, or do you prefer I?
Sure, yeah, that's fine,
Okay.
thanks.
Sounds good.
There was 2 questions I had. I know through the program, we're getting a free year of hosting, and I just was talking to somebody and they're like, hey, make sure we know what's happening after that free year hosting and what we're actually getting in that free year hosting and who it's through. But then my other question is like, I'm not sure, maybe we could poll the audience, like how many of us are going the .org way or the .com route? And I'm just wondering if this is kind of working through the .com route also.
Good question. Yeah, so let's just do the .org because we're setting up our own hosting. We're not going through a managed provider like WordPress.com. So we're just installing the WordPress template on our own hosting. And then the hosting I have like a reseller, so I can set up like multiple accounts, right?
No, I
You will
mean,
have
okay, through the program that we're doing this webinar with, one of the things, like you get 1 free year of website hosting.
Correct.
Is
Yeah.
is that through what we're on right now?
Yeah, that's going to be through my hosting. So my hosting, we will provide that free hosting. We will give you full access to your website. So if you wanted to download your files onto your computer and move it to a new server, you're more than welcome to as well. And if you want to keep it there, we can work something out. Because this is the
After the
first
first
type of
year?
program. Yeah, this is our first year. So we'll work something out if you decide to keep it there, something affordable, because this is the first year that we're offering this. So we're pretty much open on that. But you will have full access to these control panel to move your files around, to download your files, to migrate to new hosting provider if you'd like. So all that will be available.
Would you guys, okay, because like currently right now I'm in a GoDaddy transferring over to a WordPress, but I was going through the .com route and then, trying to figure out who I'd be hosting with once I migrate. But I'm just
Yeah,
trying to figure out now.
Yeah, we can help with that too. So if you want to use like WordPress.com, we can still migrate the files to their hosting, right? And you can still host it on WordPress.com. So whichever hosting provider you select, we can help assist with that migration as well.
From my original GoDaddy.
So right now you're looking to migrate to a new hosting provider.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm on a GoDaddy web builder that's like
Yeah.
super basic
Okay.
and it wasn't functioning for my business. And so I'm like, okay, it's time to spend the time and energy, maybe a little bit of money to like actually do a WordPress so I can have the functionality I need. And so
Yes.
I'm working out of work. And so I'm hoping to get help from like getting myself my annual contract is coming up for GoDaddy, and I'm like, I really don't
Yeah,
so that I can start building.
Okay. Yeah, we can help with that. So part of the free website we will help build a new website. If you already have an existing one and you like something similar to that, we can help with that. If you already have a current existing website and you just want to make some updates, we can help with that too. So a lot of people
What
may
is
already
that?
have a website.
What does that help mean? Like, are you gonna, is there like we get together and like how to, because
Right.
I had sent something last week too about the marketing or the strategizing. And I guess I'm not clear. Is that like, is there help beyond these workshops that you guys are offering pro bono?
Correct. We will provide one-on-one support as well. So yeah, we'll work with you. We'll connect you with our developer too, and we'll help you build a website. If it's to update the website, transfer the website, whatever it is, we will provide that support for you.
And when do we get to do that?
Normally, we'll start that during the whole process here, but we just want to make sure that you complete the cohort as well. So as you start to migrate the website, we can provide one-on-one assistance with that too.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Hey, John, just want to follow up with the question. So we have a maximum of 20 hours of service with each business owners, right?
Yeah, we have it at max at that, but I know our nonprofit, we have additional one-on-one hours that we can work as an advisor as well. So we've done that with another participant where they needed more help, more time. So we are able to support that too.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I
But
think,
normally we cap it at 20 because that's kind of like the normal time that we expect to take to migrate website to update and do all that work for to get the website up and running. But we're open to add more hours to that.
Really quickly, can you please elaborate more on what that 20 hours entails? I heard you say migrate files. Does that mean like establish the template? Can you just talk a little bit about that so that I'm
Correct.
mindful of how many hours, you know, I can keep
Mhm.
track of?
Yeah, that's everything from migration to updating your website content, adding your logos, walking you through how to work the website. So anything that's related to the website will be kind of considered the time that we use. Again, yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about that because we're pretty flexible. We just want to make sure that we build you a website once you complete the cohort.
So does that include, is it just the technical part as far as getting the templates up and the design and the domains transferred, or does it include, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, or does it include, like design work or, okay, I don't think that looks as good as it should. So maybe you should try something, like this,
Mhm.
or is it just
Yeah.
technical?
So with that, normally once we get there, we have like hundreds of templates that we encourage our users to choose, and then we can kind of customize it for you. So we'll send you, normally the process is we send you like hundreds of templates, you look at it, you let us know which one you like, and then we'll install these templates for you. So that's the most efficient way to get the website up and running is to choose a template that you like, and then we'll install that template, that theme, and then customize the way you like it.
Okay, so if we decide that we have our own logo or some of our own pictures or something like that, we would do that on our own.
Yeah, so with the logo, you would have to have a logo first. But if you need some help with some basic help, we kind of refer you on, if you wanted to just use like free softwares and stuff like that, we can refer you to like Canva, other free tools that can help you generate logos. If you want a more professional logo, then maybe look into hiring like a logo designer or freelancer to create you the logo.
Okay, one last question. I missed last week's session because I got the information the evening of after it aired. So would I still be considered completing the cohort if I attend all the other classes, or how does the attendance work to
Yes.
receive your text services?
Yeah, so we have recordings of previous recording. We recommend you, you can always go back and just watch the recording, and then we can just kind of update us that you watched it, and we'll kind of do it like a one-on-one just to see if you have any questions. So if you miss any cohort, you can watch it, and that can still count for you to qualify for the
Okay, because I requested
benefits.
the recording and I haven't received it.
It should be in the last email that I sent out. So last email for the update information, there's a link to our website. So normally we download the video, we upload it to the website, and you should have access to it through our last email. If not, then reach out to us again, and we can send you the link. Yeah,
Okay,
and
thanks.
any other technical questions, feel free to reach out to us offline as well. We can work with you. I know someone mentioned. Mhm.
Hello? Yeah, so
Yes.
I wanna ask, for my website is already been developed, but my sister is on the line with me because I told her about the program. And she wants to do an e-commerce website, like selling sales of human hair and men and women accessories as well as clothing. So I was thinking if we could look through some of the templates and see which one she's deciding on and the ones that are e-commerce friendly, so we can know. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely connect with us one-on-one. So part of our cohort here is we provide that one-on-one support where we'll work with you one-on-one on your website, because I know we have people here as well. So yeah, we'll definitely connect with you one-on-one, and we'll see
Okay.
what your needs are, and we'll make the recommendation in terms of what type of e-commerce template we can install and what would be the best route for you to proceed.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Someone mentioned about Shopify. Yeah, if you have Shopify, we do support that too. We can help you with Shopify if you need to make some updates. We don't host Shopify, so we don't install Shopify, but if you need some help with Shopify, we can provide that one-on-one support. And if you already have a website that's Shopify, you need some update, again, we can kind of use that 20 hours towards something else too.
Thank you. Yeah, I basically need automation done, and just to learn some of the backends myself, and to create some automation so that my emails go out. I just basic stuff, but I really need help with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, connect with me. I do have a person that does that. So if you're working with Zapier or make.com, trying to automate emails and messages and stuff like that, we can help you with that too.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Questions? Let's see, do it. Looks like
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Okay. Yeah, the
free
question.
logo for that. Yeah, so you can use Canva to generate free logo as well, and those you can use for your business too. I think we worked on that logo for you, right, Talia? I'm not sure. But yeah, any other questions, feel free to connect with us offline as well, and we'll continue to support each one of you to get the website or to reach your goals that you have for your own business. All right, so next is number 3, understanding WordPress dashboard. Jake, I'll let you share your screen so you can present that. And we'll kind of jump in back and forth because me and Jane we're kind of specialize in certain things, so we'll do our best to provide the information.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me share my screen first. And I think I'm not sure if we answered the question, but I see one from Reba asking how easy to convert from .com to .org for WordPress. Is that a plugin feature? I'm not sure if you're saying like WordPress.org come to WordPress.org, but if a website that's having a domain and it's with .com and you want to switch it to .org, I'm pretty sure first you need to check on the you need to purchase the domain for we're gonna use AMA again, like ama.com, and then you want to purchase ama.org and check if it's being used by anyone else. And then if
Oh
there's
no,
no one
actually, it's a WordPress.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it should be a lot easier in that sense. I'm pretty sure if you call for their support, they'll help you with transferring the .com to .org. Yeah,
Okay.
but for sure they will need to check if .org is being used by someone else. If not, they will help you to get that domain and then help you to transfer it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and we can help with that too, offline, and reach out to us and we can provide that support too. I think we should mention if going from WordPress.com to WordPress.org, right? It sounds like that's what she was.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, so that should be pretty simple. We could just take the files from .com, and if you have another hosting, or if we host it, then we can just transfer that over to our hosting.
Yeah, I'd have to figure out what I want to name it, and then I have to purchase the domain name, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's a lot of great questions, and we are happy to help. All right, coming to the WordPress.org's dashboard. So once you get your domain, as what John introduced previously, once you get your domain, you should have your URL. And then how do you get to the backend? One is from the web hosting. So there should be a button on the web hosting bring you directly to the backend of WordPress. The other way is just type in your URL and then with a backslash, and then you need to enter wp-admin. I'm not sure if you can. I don't think I can zoom the link, but as you can see here, you can just type in wp-admin to go to the backend, which is the dashboard. So and once you log in with your username and password, you'll be navigated to the backend. So this will be what you see when you first log in. So you will automatically lead to the dashboard screen. Here, just kind of like a brief view on your site health status at a glance, like how many posts you have, how many pages, and what's the latest WordPress events and news. So it's just a quick showcase of your status of your WordPress website. And if you install for a lot of plugins or themes, when they require updates, we'll see, right under the home, you'll see these updates with how many plugins you need to upgrade or update. So as it says 11, you should see once you get into the screen, you'll see like, oh, there's 4 plugins I have to update. And then here I have like 7 themes that I have to update. So I can just select all of them and then click on update plugins. So nothing special here. It just kind of, a regular maintenance on your WordPress site. So moving down here, we have the post. So let me click into it. So the post is basically where you create and manage your blog post. So if you are a website that writes a lot of posts, maybe you are like a news sector, you need to post daily for Twin Cities news or sports news, you'll get into the post area. So from here, I included a few samples. It just, I love coffee. So this is just like some samples that I use: black coffee, cappuccino, latte. So all of these are a post. So when you add a new post here, let me just get it real quick. Well, we can talk about this a bit later, but what I want to show you is like some edits you can make for a post. So you can set up like a title of your post. You can set up a date for the post. You can also put on like an order of the post. And you could also like set up the categories. Since they're all coffee, that's why I put them under coffee category. Otherwise, it's just like allow comments, allow pings. If you want people to have a discussion, you need to turn this on. If you do not prefer to have that, you can just deactivate it. And there's also a status you can set up. There's publish, pending review, and draft. Depending on how your review, how you want it to be released. You can always put it as draft if you still have a few more touches to the post. If not, you can just set it as published, when you want the public to find it. So that's about the post. There's also like categories you can set up in the categories subtab. You have to enter the name. You don't really have to do anything on the slug, or if you want a description for you to recall what is this categories mean to you, you can write down something under the description. Otherwise, the text, we don't usually use text a lot, but it's just another thing that you can include to make how the posts appear on your site. Other than that, I think media is pretty straightforward. It's just managing images and files. You get to see a lot of like different PDF files. If you want to include it to your website, you'll first need to upload to your media library. Other than that, if you want to put in like a MP3 music files, you could also install it and put it on here. So basically, here's a storage for you to store any media for your web page. Other than that, we have pages. I'm pretty sure pages is the most important stuff for your WordPress website. So a page is a page, a post is a post. I do hear a lot of like people kind of asking like what are their differences, because some people do use like post as a page. So a clear clarification to that is a page is holding more static content compared to post. By staying static, it means it's not time oriented. So when you create a page, you don't see, under your page, maybe there's like, oh, what time or what day you created this page, or who created this page. So none of that show on the page. But when you're talking about a post, you'll see maybe like the date when you created this post, or maybe you have authors to show up to show to the public, or if you want to show like some related post that's similar to the post that you're currently looking at, those features will be highlighted when you use a post. But pages, it's just just a one page. It's just like showing a very general information to your audience. So yeah, it's good to know the difference between them. But I guess if you click on add new page, it will direct you to this Gutenberg editor. It's similar to the post. When a few minutes ago I was clicking on the add a new post, it's showing up the same because they are using the same editor. So it's basically just if you want to add a title or your page title, you can just add it here. You can just type it in like copy or something that's related to the page you want to develop. Other than that, I'm not sure if I should go through it here, but I guess I'll just do it. If you want to add elements to your page, you can always click on this plus icon. So it's just called the block inserter. So once you click on the plus, you'll see a bunch of tools you can use here. So probably not going to go through all of them, but the easier way of using it is just go to the patterns. And then once you go to the patterns, you can just click on all. These are just different types of like blocks you can insert to your web page. So maybe I want to have a feature at the top of the page. Maybe I'll just go get this one. And then coming up, maybe I want to introduce like 2 posts that I written. And then later on, maybe like a feature section. And then maybe at the end, we will have a, let's see. Yeah, anything that could relate to your business. I guess just some gallery. So once you've done that, you can see there's basically your page, how it's going to show up. And you can change all these different elements in this page. You can just click on it. And if you want to replace this image, you can click on replace. And it will ask you open media library or upload. I'll just do open library. And you'll see here's a few photos that are already uploaded previously. So maybe I can just choose this one and put it in. And you'll see there's a coffee image replaced from the previous image. I'll just do this one. So yeah, and then you can also change the wordings here. Maybe just like latte. Oops. And just maybe cappuccino, whatever, for that relies with your business. You can always change any elements. So you can change the button, you can insert a link, you can also change all this content, all these images. It's just a basic introduction to how you can create a page. So once you've done that, if you also want to make edits on, maybe a mobile wheel, you can click on this laptop icon or the monitor. So once you click on that, you can choose from template, mobile. Once you click on tablet, it will size it like, if someone used a tablet to get into a website. If you click on mobile, it will be the mobile viewing version. So from here, you can also make edits. So it's just like how people use phone will see your website. And once you've done that, just click on publish. It just means you're ready to release it to your website. And now I can just click on view page. So this will be a freshly made website. It's our web page. So yeah, let me go back to the dashboard. And that's for the post media page. And next, coming up, we have comments. So it's just basically, if you're turn on your post comments and you're allowed people to comment on your post, and if you want to manage them, you can always come to the comment section. But since it's just like a drafted website, there's no comments, but you can mark a comment and make it maybe like spam, or you want to trash it, or if you want to, respond to the person who made that comment, you can do everything from this tab. So that's pretty much for the comments. Okay. I'm just looking at the chat. I have a question on, is post the same as blog? Yeah, it's the same. I guess blog is just like a more general way of saying it, but yeah, they're the same. Otherwise, for the appearance is where I think, yeah, John also introduced a little bit, where you could, select theme that fits your business needs and install it to WordPress website and get to use it. So there is a few that's pre-installed when you first installing WordPress on your web hosting domain. So if none of those fit you, you can always add new theme by clicking on the button. And as you can see, there's more than 6,000 of different themes. And if you need something that's related to your business, you can always search from here, and then maybe you can just do like business. And right, and it will just come out with a lot of different looks or layout for your WordPress website, and if you found any one that you feel is good for use, you can just click on install. And once you install it, your web page will look something similar to the template, but you can also change the content, the image to fit more of your business. So that's about the themes. Other than that, I think, oh yeah, if you want to customize it, you need to go to, if you want to customize your themes, you have to go to the customize. And once you click on that, it will guide you to a different editor, but it's more basic. So, if you want to change your site logo, you can always click on the site identity and change this logo. And there's also like a site title, which is for the tabs. So if you go into maybe a Starbucks coffee website, you'll see Starbucks under tab. So there's what a site title, and there's also tagline. It's just basically right over here. So there's just a lot of different settings you can do here. There's also background color you can choose from. As you can see, if I change it, the website background would change it as well. So yeah, there's for the customizing your theme. There's also menus under the appearance. So if you have different menus or sub-menus you want to include, then the menus will be the place where you want to go in and make some changes. And yeah, that's pretty much about the appearance. And going to the bottom, we have plugins. Pretty sure we'll touch more on this later. But it's just a place like an app store. If you need additional features for your WordPress website, like a form, like a web editor, you will come to the plugin section, and you can just click on add new plugins, and you can just find the ones that fit your needs and install them. Oh, it takes some time to load. Yeah, there's classic editor. It's also SEO plugins. There's also Elementor, which John will touch more on those things. So yeah, just kind of for information plugins where you install more features to your WordPress website. And next we have the users. So you probably have a team of people who will have the access to your WordPress website. Users is where you manage, the people and assign them different roles. So there's admin, there's editor. I think, let me see. Yeah, there's also a subscriber, there's customer, shop manager. So here, just basically giving people access to your website. And next we have tools, just a place where if you want to import, content from a different website, you'll need to export it first from the other website, and then you can import it to this WordPress website if you want. So that's pretty much for tools. And then lastly, for the settings, is also a place if you want to change your site title, tagline, your site icon, you'll be coming into here. There's also writings for the blog post, different categories. You can set it here, different post format. There's also readings, just some settings for your homepage displays. There's discussion. I think there's also more controls over your post content and your comments. So yeah, this is pretty much everything for WordPress dashboard. And let me know if you have any questions. Or John, if you have anything you want to add.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe did we go through the users already?
Yeah, I kind of touched base on that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is good. Um, if there's no questions, then we can move on to the themes and customization. Oh, actually, we're at the halfway mark. So does anyone need a 5-minute break? If not, then we can continue to proceed towards the a little bit more information about the themes and customization. Just like pretty much changing colors, header images, logos, the basics of adding those to the website.
Were we just doing like considering the .com and the .org basically the same functionality the way you were showing us everything?
Yeah, I mean
Or-
the .com.org is just two different. It's just one of them is a hosting, WordPress hosting. The other one is just a platform. So they're think of it, they're still the same, but just that one of them is hosted by the WordPress company, and then the .org is just if you have your own hosting, you can host WordPress anywhere.
Just a quick question. You said that you guys can work on the back end, like for an already established website?
All right. When you say backend, are you looking to add a feature? Are you looking to
Yeah,
add
like if you
content?
want, correct, like if I already have a website, I just want to add, content, make corrections and things like that. Is that something that you guys can do?
Yes, we can help with that.
Okay, great. I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay, we can. Okay, so we can proceed with the next is with the theme. Jengis, do you have your screen shared? Maybe we can
Yeah.
both talk about that since you have it up.
Sounds good. Let me do it.
Let's-
Yeah, I think I kind of touched base on that, but we can go through it
Okay.
again. Yeah. So, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to look for a theme that you want to customize, you could always click on this Add New Theme, or just click on the button at the top. So for this instance, I'll just use the 2020 for my website. So it's just a coffee website basically that introduce people for a different kind of coffee. And if you want to customize, you can go to the themes and then click on the customize button. So once you get in there, you can change different site identities, including the logo, the site title, the tagline. You can also change the colors. You can play around with all these different color settings. I'll just do like coffee color. Okay. And then once you're done, you can go back there. Let's see. Or templates. Yeah, I don't think none of this bothers. And if you want to replace the background color, you can always upload a background image where I'll just do a random one, like this one. As you can see, the color, the background color is just replaced by this background image. Otherwise, you can also select different menus you want to show on your site. Maybe, for this one, we only have home, contact, photos. I can always add items. Maybe I want to add this coffee. Maybe I want to add a different home. So once you've done that, you can see they're added to your navigation bar. So you can do all sort of customization from this tab. And there's also some widgets you can change for the footer. You can just scroll down. think the footer is here. You can also change them. Yeah, I can just do it from here. You can remove them. Or if you want to add anything on top of your footer. Otherwise, I think, yeah, you can also do the homepage settings. You know, you can set up which homepage you want to display. Like maybe you want your homepage to be a contact page and your post page to be a homepage. You can do that as well. But, you know, it's sorely depending on your needs on these settings. So, you know, in the end, always don't forget to click on the publish once you've done your settings. And yeah, I think that's pretty much for the theme and customization. Do you have anything you want to add up, John?
No, that's good.
Okay.
I can go through the next section, which will be on, looks like plugins. So I can just kind of go through some of the plugins, and then we can dive into the different plugins that we recommend.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you see
Oh,
theme.
stop sharing from here.
Okay. And I'll share my screen here. I think, and Jen, you touched on, let me see. The colors, the logos, and all that stuff too, right? I think that's part of the under the customization. Yep. Okay. Okay, so this is the back end of my WordPress, my website. So if you want to install any type of plugins, again, plugins, think of plugins like a feature, right? Some themes, templates that you install may have certain plugins installed already. But if not, I would go into the plugin section. And when you see that number 10 here, that means that you need updates, that there's 10 plugins that needs update, right? So you want to make sure that your plugins are always up to date, because if you have an old plugin that can that can have security issues in the future if you don't properly update your plugins. And also sometimes it can have conflicts with your website where your website will not function properly. So, you know, if you look at the left side, there's a number that says 10. If you look at, when you go through your plugins, you see this little red arrow back and forth here. That means that this plugin here needs to be updated, right? And if you want to update, you could just check that box, go up to the drop down here and just click update, apply, and then WordPress will automatically update. Normally, you would want to back up your website first before you make any type of major updates, because sometimes when you update certain plugins, they can have conflict with your WordPress, and after you install the updates, your website may be down, right? Because there's a conflict. So I've had that happen to me before, and had to go restore the website because I couldn't get into the back end because there was conflict already. So I had to go to the hosting side and restore the backup of the WordPress to bring it back up, and I had to uninstall that particular plugin. But that's a little bit more technical, where maybe I would probably have recommend having a developer involved. So again, some of the main plugins that I recommend is a backup plugin. And when you install plugins, so I'm just going to kind of scroll down of what the plugins I have. So some of the basic one that I recommend everyone to add is there's a backup plugin that you can install. So backup plugin, it will back up your website for you, right? So if you ever run into any issues, you can restore your previous version and troubleshoot that. So to do that, it's you will. So what I showed earlier was the install plugins. To add a new plugin, then you will go back to the side here, click add new, and this is where you can install the different plugins, right? Again, You can also kind of play around with to see what's popular. What are the popular plugins that people are installing? Some of them just looking at it. Some are image optimizer, where it can optimize your images so they load faster, compress your images. I see SEO tool here, a contact form, WooCommerce. So these are some of the different features, right? Someone's looking to add, and if you're looking to add like a shopping cart, you can install this plugin. There's security plugins here as well. So these are some of the most popular plugins that people are installing. What's recommended, very similar to what we were looking at earlier. And then depending on what type of editor you have, you can install different plugins for your particular editor too. I think Jane touched on the Gutenberg editor, but the editor that I have here is Elementor. They're a little bit different. I like the Elementor because it's easier. It's kind of like a drop and drag feature, and I can kind of go into that too. So back to a plugin. So let's say if I want to search for like an SEO plugin, I just type in SEO, enter, and it's going to show me all the different SEO plugin, right, to use. The one I have installed is the all-in-one SEO plugin, and we'll talk about that in a bit here. So let's say if you need a contact form, you can just type in contact. You need like a more specialized contact form. There's different type of forms. If you need like a security feature, you're getting a lot of spam. Type in security and it's going to pull up all the different security plugins. So the one I have installed already is a WordFence. And basically after you install it, you just activate it. And once you activate it, the plugins, most of the time the plugins will show on the side here. So I installed all in one plugin. So it came up on the side here. I installed the WordFence. So the WordFence is on the side here, WordFence. And if you want to configure these plugins, there's dashboards, there's other options that you can go into detail. And you can kind of configure the plugin as well. You can, for the WordFence here, you can install a firewall. You can do a scan on your website. You can see who's trying to access your website, total attacks, blocked, stuff like that. You can also blacklist, certain people, IP address, countries. I like to just kind of, I'm only serving mostly in the US, so I like to kind of blacklist a lot of the foreign countries because there's a lot of spam and a lot of hackers from other countries. So depending on where you serve, you can do that. I also install, let me see. Yeah, so there's different plugins. Like I have a plugin for Facebook because I track conversions from Facebook ads. So that's how you manage plugins, just really basic, high level overview of installing plugins, adding plugins, updating plugins, and then what else do we need to cover here? Let's see. So the backup, when you install backup, let me see if I have a backup here as well. So there's two ways you can back up your website. One is through the hosting, and one is through the WordPress. The hosting, it's a little more thorough where you can back up the whole site. WordPress, it does very similar where you can set auto backups. Before any major updates, I recommend making a backup first. So in case you need to go back to your previous version of your website, you can always pull up that backup. Let's see if I have a backup installed. Okay, so it looks like I don't have a backup installed because I normally do it through the back end. But if you were to add a backup plugin, I would go back to plugins, add new plugin. and then just type in backup. And normally before I install a plugin, I like to look at the reviews too and the number of installations. So that means that people have reviewed and it's been tested already because a lot of people use it. Some new ones, it may still have some bugs where if you install, you may run into some problems. So just kind of choose a plugin that has good ratings and a lot of installation, right? This one Updraft has over 3 million plus active installations. So let's say if I install it, so it allows you to back up, it allows you to restore, and allows you to migrate your website. Once you install it, it should pop up on the side here. Oh, I gotta activate it. I thought it was activated already. Okay, so once you install it, you gotta activate it. And then there should be a name that says Updraft here. Let me just refresh my page here. Yep, so it's actually called Updraft. It's up here. So normally I was looking at the side here, but it's up here. It's called Updraft. You click on Backup Restore. And then this is the back end where you basically just click on backup. It's going to ask you a few questions to backup database. So files, you just back up and it will run. It may take some time. So it's a simple tool where it will back up your website. So I recommend backing up your website once a month at least, or before you do any type of updates. The other tool that I recommend is, again, SEO plugin, which most of these plugins here will have kind of like a wizard plugin. You can launch a wizard to set up your plugin. Basically, you have to kind of answer some questions, the name of your website and all that. But I'm not going to go through this whole process, but basically you just have to go through some of the questionnaires that the plugin wizard asks, and it will set up the optimization for you. But within these tools here, it can be anything from your sitemap, your local SEO, your social networks, your links, all that will be managed through your SEO plugin. It can also run like a SEO site score for you as well. And we talked about we touch on the comments, Jane, user management comments. Yeah, we did. Okay, so I'm just kind of going back and forth.
I'm sorry, I have a question. If you don't do a backup, isn't there a version control where you can go back to an older version?
If your hosting provider provides that, some hosting providers like GoDaddy, they have like a auto backup. If your website doesn't have it, your hosting provider doesn't have it, it may be a small fee for that feature. But if you have someone maintaining your website, or if you're doing it yourself, you can just go in the back end and also do that yourself. So I can kind of maybe show you like an example of how it looks like.
Yeah, to go to like the previous version if you goof something.
Yeah. And if most of the hosting, if you're set up under cPanel, then there's a backup wizard here that you can click on. And basically it's going to ask you if you want to do full backup, partial backup. You can do restore. So when you back up, it's going to back up the file and it's going to place the file on your hosting server. So this is another way you can back up your website. When you have when you go through WordPress, it basically does the same thing, but it's on the WordPress site where it's going to back up and it's going to place it on the server.
Yeah, no, that I was actually talking about you can go back to your previous version of changes without having to back it up. And I
Previous
thought I
ver-
saw that up on your screens because it said something about the version. Before you were in
Mhm. Through the other
CEO.
backup tool, okay, the updraft.
Yeah, it might have been Updraft. I know I saw version on the page, so I had WordPress, and I remember being able to do that before. But it wasn't a backup, it was a version, going to like your last
Okay.
saved version thing.
It might have been maybe the plugin, because I know you have to back up
I
version
haven't done
updates successfully.
have changed it to a plugin.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
maybe
you
they're
had
referring to
like
like
so
the language.
good, huh?
I was gonna say maybe it's like the kind of like the PHP version. So there's different versions of the plugins where you can go back and forth as well, the versions. But the backup is a little different from the version as well. The backup, it backs up the whole site, where a version could just be a version for a certain plugin or a certain code, functionality.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it was. So like if I changed a page, I could go back to like a previous version of that page.
Yeah. Normally that some plugins will have that feature.
Okay.
So if you run into any issues, you can always go back to different versions. But most of the time, we recommend the most updated version because that will have more security on it. So yeah, so back to the plugins. Any other questions? I was going to just quickly talk about the SEO since we've covered creating content. Actually, let me just show you the Elementor content management system that I'm referring to. So it's a little different from the version that Jane mentioned. So let's say I want to add a new page. And this is one of the more popular version because it's easier to use. I'd probably recommend if you were to get a new website is to choose something that has Elementor built in. So I could do test website. So to create a website, you have to give it a name first. Once you publish that page, then you can go in and edit that. So some of the SEO pieces, you can also edit the page title and the meta description here too. Or you can also kind of use, if you have the AI version, you can just kind of say that, hey, let's grab some page content to it. If I want to add something else, let's say if I want to add like a title to it, whatever the page title is, I want to add the page title into the meta description. I could just add a bunch of tags here and it's going to pull all the information here. So it's kind of like a feature in the SEO feature, which using AI to help generate that information. But once I publish this page, you have the URL, which is my website /test, and then you click on edit with Elementor, which is the main editor that we use on my website here. And I like this because you can just basically drop and drag. If I want to add a feature, let's say if I want to add columns, different rows and column, let's say I want to do 2 column, right? And I want to just add, let's say the left column here, I wanted to add an image. So I just drop and drag image box in here. And I can add an image here. I can just choose the image from the library. So choose this flyer. The second box here, let's say I want to add something else. Let's say I want to add like some content, right? To this, and I'll just kind of write some stuff, gibberish stuff here. Let's say I want to add a heading too. I just drop and drag the heading, place the heading in here. And there's all sorts of feature here too. So the Elementor, if I wanted to add a contact form, a button, I just drop and drag in here. Right? If I want to add a button, let's see. Click here. And vice versa, right? So you can kind of scroll down, like they have a Google map you can add, there's spaces you can add, there's a form you can add, there's carousel, portfolio, there's logins and all that stuff that you can add. So basically whatever features you want, you just drag it to the left. If you want to add like a YouTube video, right? Let's say I want to add a new role. You just click on a plus sign. This time I don't want 2 rows, I just want 1 role. And then for this piece here, let's say if I want to add a video, click on the dots up here, the top right here to look at the widgets again. They call it widgets. You can also search too. Let's say if I want video widgets, I just do video. It's going to come up with all these different types of video. Let's say I want to add a YouTube video. I just, add that particular section in here. And then once you're done, you update it. And you can view the web page. So click on the left side, top left here, view page, and I can see how the page looks like for my design. So I added a button, added header, some content, added a flyer, I added YouTube video. This is just like a generic YouTube video here, but so this is one way of where Elementor is really easy to use. You don't have to have any type of coding knowledge or anything. You just drop and drag. And most of the templates will kind of have like a built-in layout for you already. So when you're working with this is kind of like how the layout will look like. If you want to customize, further customize, you can as well. So I'm just kind of looking at my other page. This is kind of like customize a little bit. And then if I wanted to edit anything from this page here, you basically just click on Edit Elementor. And you can edit anything on this page here too. So if I want to edit my social media marketing page, I can just click Edit Elementor. I can go in there and change photos, content. And this is just kind of like the layout, right? Where I can change, I can add on. So that's just like a quick overview look of the Elementor. There's different ways, there's other features where you can customize as well. You can style it the way you want. You can add different text color, alignment, shadows, and highlight the buttons, margins, padding. So these are all other functions that you can add to the particular set of, I'd say, container field, right? For this section here. Any questions? You could look at preview changes. You can also look at different, let's say, responsive mode, right? Let's say if I want to look at, it on a desktop and mobile tablet view, right? This is the desktop view. This is how it's going to look like on a tablet. And this is how it's going to look on a mobile phone. So you can kind of preview all that through this whole Elementor system here before you launch it. You can also look at some history of what you've done, revisions. Sections. So yeah, you just have to kind of play around with it. But again, I don't go into too much detail in terms of the customization. I just kind of focus on just the basic stuff. If I need a little bit more customization, I usually have my developer do it for me. So I don't want to spend a lot of time just trying to figure things out. Some of these features here, my developer could probably do within 10, 15 minutes, right? It could probably take me like an hour to try to figure something out. So it really depends on how much you want to learn. If you want to really get good at this, you can explore the different ways you can edit and add the Elementor feature or just WordPress alone. And once you're done with the page, let's say you can just exit out back to to the admin. Any questions with that? So that's just a little bit different from the Gutenberg Jing was referring to earlier, which so there's different type of editors, and depending on what type of template you install or what type of editor you install, it's going to be different. But Elementor, most of the WordPress that we build, we like to use Elementor.
Hey, John, we have a question from Jen. Do you only specialize in WordPress, or do you provide other IT services in this cohort?
Yeah, depending on what type of platform, like I said, we can support WordPress, Wix, and all the different other platforms too. They're very similar. Yeah, and even like GoDaddy, some of those are kind of built-in platforms that they have. We can support those too, but again, those are a little bit limited in terms of how much customization you can do. I forgot to mention, I was going to show you real quick. So this contact form, does that answer your question, or is there any other questions? Okay. Specialized WordPress IT services. Yeah, because IT services can be very broad. I mean, it could fall into AI, it can fall into automation, marketing, advertising. So all that we can provide some type of support. And I forgot to mention, I think contact form, you have to decide what type of contact form you will use. So there is a built-in contact form from WordPress, and then there's also a Elementor form as well. So I'm just going to quickly go back to the page. I think it's a point to kind of mention that, because if you're designing a landing page, right, you want to make sure that you have some type of form on your website. For me, I like to use JotForm, which is a paid version, but you can also use like a Elementor, which is more basic form. And these form, you can see the leads on your admin, and you can also get a notification to your email address when someone fills out the form. So if I want to add a form here, let's say, oops, let's go to the bottom here. I will just go to contact. So contact form, there's different forms that you can choose. Again, the contact form 7 is the default contact form. Let me see, there should be Elementor form as well here. Okay, so there's a form widget here that you can use as well. Basically name, email, you can change whatever it is that you want. If you want to do like a radio, if you want to do like a checkbox, you can add that. Collect submission, you can have your email, add whichever email you want the form to be sent to if someone fills up the form. And there's other different customization. You can add a button. There's different fields that you can add. But going back to that, I'm just going to go back to the admin. So for example, if someone was to submit that form, you can go back to Elementor section on the left hand here, and there's a submission form here. So any forms that people submit, it's going to show up in the back end here as well. So and you can see, you can export to CSV. You can see all the people that filled out the form, right? These are I was using this when I was collecting information from the different lead pages. Some of these are not real. They're like kind of like spam pages and stuff like that. But it'll be under the forms section. So that's one thing I like about Elementor, is that it collects this. Some other form like contact form, the built-in contact form by WordPress as default. It doesn't collect the leads that come through. They will only email it to you. So if someone filled out the form here, you're not going to have a lead or a contact information built in the admin, you will only get an email of that contact information to your email. So it's just kind of look at the different type of form versions that you like. Again, I like to use contact jot form because jot form is I can add this form to multiple WordPress website. I can just go in here. I can just download all the leads from a third-party form site, right? So these are all like the different forms. Let's say if I want to click on like this form here I created for another website. If I wanted to look at the forms, I can download all these leads here into Excel sheet. I can also connect this with Zapier. If I wanted to add this form to WordPress, it's basically just you can edit form, and there's like a script that you just paste into WordPress. Settings. You can customize your thank you email. You can do your integration. And basically you copy the script here and you just copy paste into WordPress. So it's a little different. I like to use this because like I said, sometimes I have the same form on multiple WordPress website, right? So then everything comes into this particular form. So again, just whatever fits your goals, just choose the right type of form or type of features that your business will need. Just real quick here, the SEO piece. Again, I use all-in-one SEO, but SEO Yoast is also really good. I recommend running an audit, running a wizard setup, launch the wizard setup. You can also watch like a YouTube on how to set up the SEO plugin. If you want to customize, most of the time when you install this, the AI will automatically input the meta tags for you. And if you want to customize the meta tags, you can go to each individual pages and update these pages too. So let's say I want to take a look at all the pages. Click on all pages, and you can see all the pages on your website here. And you'll see the SEO score as well. The headline score, SEO score. You can see what the title is, what the description is. So let's say I want to change the title. I can just, these are just kind of like automated tags, which gonna post whatever the title is separated by the site name. If I don't want to keep this and I want to just do like a custom name, whatever, I could just type it in, I could save it, and it's gonna take in the custom name. But normally with SEO, it requires a little bit more work. You want to use the right keywords, right? And that's probably we're gonna teach that more on the SEO cohort or the SEO workshop, where we'll teach you how to do keyword research to find a set of keywords that people are searching for, so that you can add to your title and to your content pages, right? Because I could put I can be ranking for a word that no one's searching for, right? And that's not going to do me any good. I want to make sure that I have the right keywords that can drive traffic to my website, right? So that's going to be in our SEO cohort, where we'll teach you how to find the right keywords to optimize your pages, from the title pages to this description. For those of you who don't know what this is, the meta tag, the title and description, that is what I'll show you. It's when you search on Google, right? Let's say I search on SEO. Oops. Let's say if I search SEO, right? So the title is going to be, so the paid ad is when you see sponsored, that's paid ad. If I click on this ad, it's going to cost this company here. But the organic search starts right underneath the paid ads. And normally the AI is right on top of it. So if you want to do some AI searches on SEO, it's Google will pull up some AI information. And then the organic search natural ranking starts here under the sponsor paid ad. So where it says what is SEO, that's the title tag, right? And then the description is right here, is where it says SEO stands for search engine optimization. That's the description. So whatever you want your page to show up like on the search engines, that's where you edit that in WordPress. So again, the title page is what's going to show up on top of Google, and description is going to show up underneath the Google searches, right? And there's certain limitations too, where we recommend 75 characters and the description only 150 characters. So you want to make sure you have proper engaging meta tags, right? If you have some boring tags, no one may want to click on it, right? So you want to have some call to action keywords, some type of engaging title and description so that it can engage people click on. Again, we'll teach that more on the other workshop, SEO workshop. Because now with the ranking, if no one's clicking, even though you're ranking first, if no one's clicking on your link, eventually you're going to start dropping. So click-through rate engagement is also very important when it comes to ranking. So again, just a quick overview. You can look through each, the whole page. You can look at the title, description. You can look at the score and make the updates. Again, there's AI tools that you can work on to automate, to add different titles and descriptions on your website. And then real quick here, I know we're almost done here. To track conversions, analytics, traffic, I normally use, so the all-in-one SEO here, it has a feature for to connect with my Google Analytics as well. So you'll need an account with Analytics. If you don't know what that is, just type in analytics.google. It's free. You can sign up with an account, and this will keep track of your traffic, right? I also recommend Search Console. Search Console will keep track of your website health performance. If there's any issues, you'll see it here. If your site is hacked, it's spamming stuff, you'll see a notification here too. So again, two main things is Google Search Console tracks the health of your website, and Analytics will track conversion, track the traffic, conversion, traffics that's coming to your website, right? And then back to the back in here, again, the all-in-one SEO plugin here has a integration where I can, under Webmaster Tools, I can connect with my analytics. I can connect with Search Console. If you have Google Tag Manager, this is mostly used for keeping track of conversions and event clicking. It's a way of tracking traffic as well. We'll talk more about that later, but for today, just making sure you have Google Search Console, Analytics. So if I want to install Analytics, click Manage Analytics. It has a built-in Monster Insight where it's going to ask me, I can launch a setup wizard. It's going to ask me information to set up the wizard here. I've already done that. So the website profile that I needed to know is this active profile numbers and letters right here. That's the profile name. That can be found under. So I want to just confirm that through here, you can match that through the, let's see, through the settings, right? So you're going to, once you have analytics set up, right, you're going to admin, account details, account properties, and that's where it's gonna connect. That's where you can find the information to connect with WordPress. So the measurement name is right here. This ID here is the same one that's connected here, right? The website profile. But the launch, the setup wizard will walk you through this. It's going to ask you what type of website you have. Do you want to connect to Google Analytics, reconnect Monster? So I've already done all this. The API is really to just allow you to send tracking back and forth. You don't really need it. But let's say you skip connections. Once you save it, it's going to connect. It's going to ask you to log into like Google Analytics as well. I've already done all that. And then it's going to connect your WordPress with your Google Analytics so that you can start tracking your traffic. You can also look at your traffic on your website here too. Without logging to Google, you can just look at your traffic from your website here. So you can look at under Insights, you can look at reports, and this dashboard here may be easier for for those of you who are not familiar with Google Analytics, because it makes things a lot easier to read, where everything's kind of put into one dashboard here. You can look at sessions, meaning the number of users on your website. Page view means the number of times each page was viewed. This is based on the last 30 days. You can look at new visitors, returning visitors, breakdown of different devices, tablet, desktop, mobile. You can look at top countries, referrals. You can look at top pages that people are using and are landing on. So this is all kind of under one dashboard. So that's kind of like a quick overview of tracking, making sure that your WordPress is also connected to your Google Analytics and Search Console. And then just trying to see what else we need to cover. So with that being said, I know we're almost done. Let me share my screen back to the PowerPoint presentation here. Anything else you want to add, Jing?
I don't think so. Yeah.
You guys see the WordPress, the presentation?
Yeah, the slides, yes.
Okay. Yep. So we some common troubleshooting again we touched on that. If you're having issues with plugin conflicts, if your website's not working, that's something where you may need to get a developer involved or your hosting provider to kind of troubleshoot that. Some exercises, if you really want to learn how to use the system, you can create your own website and play around with it. Setting a new page, adding new content. But the websites that we build for you will kind of walk you through on how to manage it anyways. And then last thing is resource, continue learning. There's ways that you can kind of help teach yourself through online tutorials, forums, communities, workshop, a lot of video tutorials on YouTube as well. So if you want to learn how to do something on WordPress, you can mostly it's probably on YouTube. You can search it on YouTube. There's probably someone posting how to work that particular functionality on YouTube already. Again, just a little bit more resources, online courses, Udemy, books, blogs, website, video tutorials. And the last thing is, hire a freelancer, right? Like Upwork.com, Fiverr, Freelancer.com. I utilize that to hire some freelancers to help me out, where, it may be more affordable than paying for someone in the States. Or if you can hire someone for a local agency or from the States to help you out, it really depends on your budget and how well you know WordPress, right? Definitely look into a freelancer if you don't want to dedicate a lot of your time into web development. And that's pretty much it. Any questions? If you need to reach out to me and Jang, this contact information. This presentation will be posted on my website, Digital Synergy. Basically, if you go to my website here, you can just the link was in the email too. So if you went to Digital Synergy, it's under webinars. When you land on my website, go to webinars, small business digital solution webinar, and the latest video and presentation will be posted here. So you can download the presentation, you can watch it. We've uploaded on YouTube already, so all the information will be uploaded on my website. Yeah, any questions with the grant application, you can reach out to Jang. Any questions with today's cohort workshop, you can also reach out to us both. I know there's a lot of questions with many of you. I think we're probably going to need a one-on-one session to really work with you one-on-one to get the website up and running and to help you with your goals. So again, I've only got a few people that email me the presentation, the strategy. Make sure you finish the strategy too, because then that's something important that you will need down the line is how to have a strategy plan for your business online and then also execute that in the future as well.
So are you saying our business plan? You want
Well,
that?
just saying, yeah, if you guys want to fine tune your business plan or need me to kind of help you with that, feel free to reach out to me. We can, I can do more research on that, and you can generate a strategy plan for you.
Is that part of the 20 hours?
No, the 20 hours is for the website, but part of the one-on-one, it's all part of the support that we provide through this cohort.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
and I don't worry too much about the 20 hours. I think we're pretty flexible. Well, goes to just get your website up and running. Yeah, the way you like
Oh.
it.
So I must have missed when you from the first meeting when you said that you wanted a strategy plan. Is there anything else or that I need to get that was talked about in the first session?
I'd
Besides
say
that?
yeah, basically just a strategy plan, digital strategy plan, right? In terms of after the website, like what do you do after the website? Are you a local store? Are you an online store? Do you provide service or product? So you'll need that plan to have an effective marketing strategy going forward. Once we get to the latter stage of the cohort, and then once we're done with the cohort, you want to make sure that you have a plan in place so that you have a direction for your business to grow, how you can scale your business, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any questions, reach out to us offline. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll be in touch with next week's workshop and send you all more information. Besides that, have a good night. Anything else to add, Jane?
No, thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. It's a
All right.
great workshop.
Good night, everyone. Bye.